Welcome to the Core 4 Show. This is Coach Brandon, and I'm here to give you guys another wonderful week of really just understanding what Core 4 is all about and how we're able to make money and how we're able to grow and how we're able to do it differently than what's out there now. So let's talk a little bit about what Core 4 is and what it isn't, because there was some misunderstandings this week. I'll give you an example. I did a you know, I don't want to call it like just a recap on how I felt about two individuals that were basically indicted by the SEC. And there was a time that I participated in projects, and a lot of people that we all know have participated in projects that ended up failing. And they were crypto projects that failed and not, traditional centralized projects. Well, guess what happened? Well, they signed up just like everybody else, and I signed up with an affiliate link, and I had no interest in being a part of any scams or any other things. And I don't feel that those two individuals really went into it saying that they were out there trying to scam people. Well, there's narratives out there, and people are looking for reasons to be able to assign blame. And yes, those individuals are accountable, and especially if they knew about it. But this is where Core 4 comes in. Because if you pivot before there's a mistake that you're caught with, and you understand something is different and you're fighting to change and right wrongs, then that's a positive thing. And so what Core 4 is out here doing is we are out here looking for ways that you can keep custody of your funds and grow them in a spectacular way and have strategies for success that you wouldn't ordinarily have. So that deals with mindset, number one. That deals with understanding how to get rid of your 9 to 5, number two. That goes with understanding how to change your investment strategy and be open to other ways that you can create wealth besides just the traditional ways. And then finally, your retirement. Because inflation, interest rates, all sorts of stuff really causes a damper. And it's really kind of depressing to think about how much money we're going to have in the future based on where our growth is right now with some of our investments in our retirement. So the deal is that as you get to learn about Chris Pulver, James Bishop, Coach Vaughn, Coach India, myself, and we have many others, as you get to learn about us, you'll notice that we're on here every week. We are consistently on here every week. And our goal is to help you to understand that I'm not going anywhere. None of our coaches, none of our team is going anywhere. As a matter of fact, we're trying to change it so that you can have better access to the success that we're seeing ourselves and the journey that we're on, where we're in control over our own funds. And we want you to do the same thing and have those same strategies for success. So that's what we're all about here at Core 4. And the way you get involved, you can become a member and get significant discounts by working with our teams on our Signal service. You can get involved and come to our events. We have an event coming up June 28th to June 30th. You can get involved by just communicating with us and staying online and staying on point. But notice we don't participate in Ponzi's. Now, that doesn't mean that you have a platform or you have something that you like or you're interested in and you want to learn more about it than what we have. And hopefully I can get it on today. And Jeremiah is with us today in the audio in the back studio. But we've created something called the Core 4 Coefficient, the Core 4 True Return, and finally the Core 4 Quadrant. So if there is an investment that you have that has an ROI, you can use all three so that you can understand how to make a quality leveraged decision about where you're putting your money. I'll say that again, a quality leveraged. So how much money do I have to work with? What is this in terms of risk factor? What is it in terms of what the true return is? Not just what I think the return is going to be or what they say, but really if you take the risk, multiply it times what the monthly return is, that's going to give you the true return. And then how you plug that in so that it's now a part of your quadrant. And that will tell you whether or not Core 4 would put 5% in, 10% in, or 80% in. And so when you look at that, that just helps you to decide where you want to be in this space and how well you want to be able to sleep at night. So that's what the strategies are for, and that's what our gift is. It's totally free to use the tool. I tell everybody we're not financial advisors. We're here for educational purposes only. And this is our journey and independent, true to us. So without further ado, what we like to do is we have several things. So the first thing is we have our core forecast. And in our core forecast, we have Chris Pulver, who's one of the best traders in the world. We have James Bishop, who is an incredible economist who's getting his doctorate in economy. You guys could actually see, if you look on any of our videos, you'll be able to see both of them. And we're going to have them on the show as well, so you guys can get to know them too. But these are like two of the best people in the world to learn from. And they're right here available to you at Core 4. So take a chance, learn from them, listen to them, and let's bring Chris Pulver on the show. Chris, how you doing, buddy? You're muted.
Yep.
You're muted.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Brandon. Hey, Core 4. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
No football today, so let's talk markets, huh?
Let's talk markets. Do you have something to show?
I do. Yeah, let me grab the screen here. Let's get after it. I'll take I believe my 3 minutes today, right?
Yeah, you got 3. But okay. I know if you need a minute or two more.
James, all right, I should be good. James usually does it in 4. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. Last week was an extremely busy week. We had 320 companies reported earnings, and I believe 5 of those were Mag 7 stocks. Right now, I'm not sure if anybody caught this in the headlines, but they're no longer calling it the Magnificent 7. They're calling it the Super 6 because Tesla's been in a 30+% drawdown since the high in December. So they're taking away Tesla love. Nvidia's up, one of the top performing stocks in the world the last 5 years. Meta blew out expectations this week. We had some good earnings across the board on Mag 7. The stock market made all-time highs once again, except for the Russell. So what you're looking at here, this is actually the year-to-date performance with just kind of everything in the broad market. So this is SP 500. You can see the big bright green. Meta's up 34.19 for the year. Nvidia's up 33.6. You go into the rest of the year, it's like there's some darker green, which means broader market. We are getting a lot of companies, a lot of stocks are sitting over the 200 moving average as well as the 50 moving average, which means we're in a bull market. If we've got some technical traders out there, you're looking at some overbought conditions or looking at some divergence, it's starting to creep in on the technicals. The S&P is creeping up to that 5,000 level, which I think is a big milestone. There might be some profit taking. I think the trend and the length that we've had since November, December to this carry on in January could potentially be a little bit over on its skis a bit too far. So meaning I wouldn't be surprised if we have some short-term volatility to the downside. The Fed tried to spark that this week on Wednesday. So not only do we had all these earnings this week, it was carried along by the broad market. The strongest, biggest companies in the world still perform well as expected. So the market is still higher. So here we are, S&P's up for the year. Let's go to the sector tracker. S&P 500 up 3.96% year to date. Why is it being lifted? Why is the broad market higher? Because of your big performance out of these big stocks, the index weighted communication services sector and technology sector. You've got your Metas, you've got your Nvidias, you've got your Netflix, all these companies that have had these huge run, 20-30% upside on the stocks just year to date that's dragging the broad market higher. So we're closing at all-time highs. I want to go into the charts here in just one moment, but the big shift that we had on Wednesday, and James might touch on this as well with the Fed. So this changed quite a bit. The tone was set by Jerome Powell, higher for longer from the Fed. The pivot that we saw back in November, December is very different to what the tune is now. Again, the market really hasn't priced in anything bad. The market's not reacting outside of what it did on Wednesday. By Wednesday late in the day, we kind of erased already some of the bearishness. By Thursday, Friday, we're up at all-time highs once again. But the big change was as we head into March, which is the next rate decision for the Fed, the market's anticipating that there will be no rate cut. As we went into this year, this was like a 60% probability that the market would be seeing a rate cut by the Fed. And now the December expectation has shifted about 25 basis points. All that means is the Fed is not as dovish as the market thought it was. Now, did that translate into price action yet? Not yet. Okay. So we're still grinding, really nicely off these lows from October. If I go to a rough measurement tool here, S&P's up around 20 to 21% without really anything being checked. I would certainly like to see a bit of a retracement or correction coming. I'm looking at something just really simple. I mean, I don't think there's any reason to force a short in the market, but if we started to break that structure right there, I think we're due for a correction back into the 2023 resistance levels, which is this area, or this previous level, which is near the all-time highs. So I'm just going to continue to do my thing. Last week was a good week overall. I had gains on the SPY, gains on some stocks. I played some earnings on Chevron, Amazon, Meta, and Google. Those are all pretty solid. The week before that, we talked about this on the show. Tesla was great earnings. And so anyway, I just keep doing my thing, keep grinding, and beating the benchmarks, which I'm happy with. Just trading a lot of options and just doing what I do best, which is active trading, active management. I'm trying to think where we're at for the dollar index. We talked about this last week on the show. We finally had a breakout to the upside, which again, this is an interesting correlation because typically I was expecting to see if the dollar got stronger, which we saw after non-farm payroll on Friday. Dollar got stronger on Friday, but the stock market did not relinquish anything. The stock market melted up higher all day Friday. In fact, I think I have a screenshot of this right here. This is a software platform that I have. You can see my screen. All we had was an open right here, and this market just melted up all day and ended up peaking around 496. So I think I have two screenshots here, kind of a before and after. So this was where we started for the day. This may not seem like a lot, but a 490 to 494, if you're trading options during a single day, I could have paid $1 for a call option and had that trade worth $3-4. So, I mean, there's a 200 to 300% gain just in a single day by doing some single day expiration. So it was a really nice day for an opportunity for just the market to go up. I'm very curious if we hit that 5,000 mark this week with a little bit more momentum. As far as the recap goes, or what I'm looking forward to this week, I got some notables. 492 companies reporting earnings. It's not Mag 7, but some of the notables here, we've got some that will be affecting the consumer, like McDonald's. Are people still eating? Probably. Chipotle, one of the best fast food chains in the world as far as stock price and performance. Ford, we had some drama with the United Auto Workers Union, or the UAW that Ford and GM got into. Alibaba, is China going to wake up and get some animal spirits lifted? If so, Alibaba could benefit. PayPal was a kind of a value tech stock. Disney has come off the lows really nicely. Retail, so Spirit Airlines, JetBlue, the merger went belly up once again. Under Armour for retail. So this is stuff I'll be watching this week. I think the market's going to be relatively volatile. We've got enough in earnings. We've got a pretty light calendar that James will probably talk about here in the next little bit. We've got an Aussie rate decision, some New Zealand employment news, but not much on the U.S. side going into next week outside of PMI numbers. So that'll do it for the little forecast. Hopefully it's on time, Brandon. I think I'm good.
Yeah, no, you did fantastic.
Okay.
One of the things, Chris, when you were talking, I saw a gap, right? When we talked about that, was it on that one or the other screen? Well, there's a gap right there.
Yep.
Do you see that is going to pull back to that and fill that gap?
Eventually, yes. I mean, let me go to a weekly chart really quickly. So here's what I see, right? I mean, we've had this, like I said, kind of unchecked rally since bottom in October. Look, you have to realize that people have this weird high, or this weird perversion to higher highs. Like, oh, I can't buy the highs. Look, this market might continue to melt up another 5 to 10%. I mean, the one thing that was performing really well this year, take a look at this. If I go into the heat map, go to ETFs. And if you want to see some performance this year, look at your leverage ETFs. So your TQQQ is a triple leveraged NASDAQ, and it's up 13% for the year. The NASDAQ's up 3-4% for the year. So instruments out there are offering returns. It's just how much risk you're willing to take. I'm not interested in calling the top. I think the one thing that you'll hear all year are people are just, we can't believe it. It's going to go down. It's going to be, we're going to have a recession. The Fed's it's going to be a pivot. It's going to be a bond bloodbath. Okay. All this stuff is noise and narrative. I trade in the trenches. The way I make money is price action, probabilities, and I just trade. So I need to be fundamentally aware and make sure I'm not missing anything. But the reality is, who am I to say that this market has to go down? All I'm going to do is let my ego get in the way. If I'm like, no, it doesn't make any sense. It's got to go down. And this market melts up another 5-10%. Exactly. That's missed opportunity for me. So I am pretty much just following price, which I think if you want to be a trader, that's what you should do. Price is always your best leading indicator. That's what I trade.
All right, buddy. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yep. And
I'll talk to you later. All right. Next up, James Bishop. Where is he? Oh,
here.
There you are.
Here. Can you hear me?
All right. No, we can hear you great.
Okay.
Good to see you again. Tell us what's been going on, buddy.
Well, I've been moving. So no. Formerly, and excuse the echo, I still need to get a rug for this office because it is very echoey in here. I do know. So I do apologize about that. But we have a lot going on right now in the markets, as Chris so graciously kind of took last week for me and touched on it a little bit this week. Federal Reserve held interest rates, and love what Jerome Powell said here. He basically said that, inflation is coming down. We're a sustainable way towards our 2% goal, but there's no intention of cutting rates, and we will probably we will be measured in how we cut rates. But he also listed at the same time, speaking out of the other side of his mouth, that there are a whole bunch of factors that could cause the economic strife to happen in the U.S. Listing, the Iranian and the Houthis out of Yemen that the U.S. is dealing with there, the Russians in Ukraine, issues in China, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But for this week, we'll touch on that stuff in a second. This week, we'll also touch on, we have an Australian rate decision, as Chris had talked about. That's going to, more than likely be a event, right? They're just going to hold rates because everybody's waiting to see when is the U.S. dollar going to make their decision and when is the U.S. going to make a change. Then on Tuesday, New Zealand unemployment rate, and then unemployment claims out of the U.S. That is one that I am keeping a close eye on. Right, is unemployment claims, because unemployment claims, there is a potential for that to increase with what is happening with Google, for instance, and in the tech sector. Already, we know that late last year, we had Google and a whole host of tech companies lay off a ton of workers. Well, in their 10K, Google announced that they're going to be cutting staff again, and this time probably by about another 30,000 employees, as their AI can now replace those employees' work. And you don't have to pay AI, and AI, it works from home, it works on weekends, it works on holidays. So that is one of the kind of interesting things. We'll see what I'll be keeping an eye on unemployment. And speaking of unemployment, we had non-farm payroll this past week, which came out way better than expected. 335,000 jobs being added as opposed to what was forecasted. The unemployment rate, though, stayed flat. Now, lastly, I did talk about this. This is literally 1 hour old news. And if you're not familiar with the Houthis in Yemen, they are, the latest out of the Middle East to cause chaos. Well, about an hour ago, we saw they attacked some U.S. forces as well as Israeli forces, and we have pledged to go fight against them as well. And so they are talking already about launching attacks. What this breaks into, that I don't know. Stay tuned to Core 4 because I'll always bring you the news as it's released.
Man, that was excellent. Excellent. And so one of the things that we have to learn how to do better, and I want our community to plug in with you and Chris, is how to put all of these pieces together, right? And so we're going to have you actually on the show later on, and Chris is going to be on the show later on, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, because you guys are fantastic fundamentalists, and you guys are also fantastic with technical analysis. That's why you guys are so successful. But for a lot of the community that hasn't really plugged in and engaged with you guys to actually say hire you for your services, and they're trying to do things on their own, we want to give them some tips on how to take these fundamentals, look at some of the historical data from those fundamentals, and how the technicals can drive that forward. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. I look forward to that day.
I know you do. All right, guys. So that was our core forecast. And so now we're getting ready to go into our core 4 report. So we're in the middle of Forex trading. And so for all of you guys that are actually Forex trading with us, remember, the money's in your account. You guys have a choice with who the broker is that you're going to choose. We let you know who we use. You guys can decide if you want to use that particular broker for yourself. And then we have the Ghost Protocol signals. Last year, the Ghost Protocol, they got over 50,000 pips. And so what that translates into, and that's net pips, is that if you look over the shoulder of the Ghost Protocol and you find out what they're trading, now you might see that somebody else traded 15,000 times, but the Ghost Protocol is looking for the highest probability of success based on specific risk. And so we have a trading room, and then we also have our Ghost Protocol Telegram signals. So you can either have one or you can have both. And with 50,000 net pips last year, we're just getting started this year. We're going to drive those pips, and we're going to make sure that we're looking for the best possible success for you guys to have in the trade room and also on your short-term opportunities. So the next thing is, like I said before, we have yield farming. Yield farming right now, we are having technical difficulties, so we are going to be redefining how we actually offer yield farming to you. In addition to that, and this is important, we have decided to help our community grow. So many of you guys have contacted me, hey, coach, I really want to do binary options, but it's so expensive to get started. And so our coaches have huddled up, and we've said that each of them can offer you guys a course, and that course is going to then be something that you can do at home, and then you will be able to see how they trade using those same skill sets, and then you can work at mimicking on your own how to be successful the way that they are and get their reportings. And so by doing that, that puts us in a position where you guys can engage with the Core 4 family, the Core 4 coaches, participate, start earning, start learning, and not feel like, oh, I have to come out to actually work. I want to do binary options, but I just can't afford it right now. So we've got a fantastic project and product for you guys to be able to bring into your lives. All right, so let me jump in, and we're going to bring on Coach India to the stage. We're going to talk to her for a few minutes. And then, Coach India, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Amazing. And then, Coach India, I want to have you talk about ponds either next week on the show, or we'll do a video this week. I just wanted to plug it because, you know, Core 4 looks for altcoins and other different types of ways to make money in the cryptoverse. But again, it's your money that you're investing. And so we're just providing you with the education. But India, how's binary options going for you?
It's going well. So I wanted to pretty much just go over like a monthly review, considering that we've been doing this about 3 or 4 weeks now. So I'm going to share my screen and let me know if you can see that real quick. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right. Awesome. So overall January results, the initial balance started off with $4,000. The month in balance was $7,032.62. So the total profit was $3,032.62. So the profit percentage was 75.8% for the month. Today, pretty much had a 61% winning ratio. So overall, I would say it was a pretty productive month, and just looking to build on that this upcoming month for February. So that's pretty much the basis of how everything went this month, Brandon.
Great. I want you to keep it up. Very proud of what you guys are doing as coaches. And so just like we talked about, we're going to be offering your course and Coach Vaughn's course, and that's going to be fantastic. So great job.
Thank you.
All right. So before I bring on Coach Vaughn, you know, I want to show you what he and I have been working on this week so that you guys can really see it. Which the total increase is really small here, but it's really large when you actually see it. Coach, let me see if I can add you to the stage there. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Don't ask me where I'm at right now. Don't worry about the echo. They're coming after Bitcoin Beauty. They're coming after Bitcoin The other Bitcoin guy, they're coming after all the Bitcoin people. So don't ask me where I am. I got to get out of here before the feds take me away, before they come and lock me up. I don't want to go back to jail, right? I want to be free. I want to make money. I want to be able to succeed. I want to have success, and I want to keep giving you the sauce. So don't worry about where I am. I'm just making sure that they're not coming after me. I'm making sure that nobody's on my back. I'm making sure nobody's coming after me right now, Coach, because I want to keep giving you the sauce. The sauce. Look at what's going on. Look at these testimonies. Look at what's going on with Coach India. Coach India has the sauce. Brandon has the sauce. All of this sauce that I'm giving out, I'm scared that they're going to take me away soon because I'm giving out too much sauce.
Man, let me tell you something. All I can do is this. All I can do is this. I just got to stir up the sauce. Well, let me just tell you. So this week we did, it looks like 48% between Monday through Friday. And that was an average daily return of 9.7%. That's a lot of sauce, Coach. That's a lot of sauce. And we had some bonus days too. We had Saturday and Sunday on the bonus. So I hope you're getting some rest because we want some more sauce for next week, baby.
I got it. I got all the sauce that you need. I got so much sauce that you just don't, I just don't know what everybody's going to do with all of it. But that's what you got to understand. You guys are getting a lot of good information here, but what you also are going to get is the sauce. You're going to get the sauce at Core 4. So make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you join and get some of these tools that are being offered to you. And we will let the rest of it just speak for itself, Coach. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Well, enough said. So just, you know, if Coach Vaughn were just a little bigger, he would have been a wrestler, and we would have all known him in different areas besides just binary options. But great job, Coach. All right, so today we have a fantastic show. It's game time. And in game time, we bring on a special guest who is bringing us a way that we can make money. And in this particular, sometimes you can give your money to a particular investment project that's real world. Remember, we do real world opportunities. And then we also talk about keeping custody of your money, right? But then we also talk about business ventures. Where can you generate money for yourself? And so today we have an expert YouTuber. He's a content creator. He actually coaches me on what I'm doing in this space. He's been a fantastic friend. You guys will see him at length at our Core 4 Summit, which is June 28th to June 30th. So don't miss what we're offering to you. We're offering you an education without asking you for one dime. Understand what that means. Where all of these other programs are trying to give you bots here and this there and all the rest of that stuff, and then they go away, they get hacked, or they have some other issue with them that stops them from being able to perform as a narrative. Make sure if you do that, that's fine. And we're not saying don't allocate some of your money for that, but we're saying take your money and your time seriously and start getting educated so that if you are going to do projects, that we look for ways that we can increase our bottom line as opposed to watch it dwindle away. And I'm actually a victim of that. And everybody on this call has had something like that happen. So welcome to the stage, a master YouTube business person. And we're going to have a wonderful interview now. You're going to see him again, Anthony DeLoatch. How you doing, buddy?
I am incredible. I'm incredible. What's going on with you, Brandon? How are you?
I'm amazing. I'm amazing. What more can I say? I've got great friends. I've got great people. You know, I tell people all the time, I say there's 3 ways that you're going to be successful in this world. Number 1 is by becoming a subject matter expert. Number 2, I say, is being the best version of yourself. And finally, number 3, surrounding yourself with people who inspire you. And you inspire me. Thank you for being here.
Incredible. I love that. And I want to just throw it right back to you. You inspire me as well. Even just the short time that we've known each other, I've seen you operate in excellence. And that's what I love to be surrounded with. So I'm excited to be here on the show tonight.
Good, good, good. Well, let's jump right in. So, tell us a little bit about YouTube and your journey. Why did you start doing a YouTube channel? Were you looking to monetize it at first, or just tell me how you do it, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I do with it.
All right, awesome. So YouTube originally, for me, I got on YouTube. I just started doing some videos, no real specific agenda. But back in like 2020, I got serious. Well, it wasn't even I got serious on purpose. What happened was I was building a team, and we kept having a lot of the same questions. People wanted the same information, so I started to build out a website. It required me to use YouTube videos, so I uploaded some videos to YouTube showing people how to actually do some transactions and things like that in the crypto world. And the next thing I know, people started watching those videos, and people were asking me for more videos and asking me questions and things like that. So I just said, hey man, look, I'm going to serve the people. Wasn't looking to monetize it, wasn't looking to do any of that type of stuff. I was just looking to serve the people who had questions, who wanted to learn more, and it grew into a whole thing. So that's my origin journey with YouTube.
Sure. So can people make a living as a content creator?
Absolutely. Not only make a living, they can make a great living. As a matter of fact, right now, the content creator economy, or the creator economy, is one of the fastest growing segments in the entrepreneurship world. Even if you ask young people now, if you go into schools, if you go anywhere, a lot of people are going to tell you that they want to be a content creator or a YouTuber. I get it with my children. Both, two of my boys have YouTube channels themselves. And I'm telling you, it is a great way to make a good income, or even a extremely great income. So whatever you're trying to do, you can actually do that with YouTube.
So it's funny because they say the second search engine, the second largest search engine is YouTube behind Google. And it's bigger than Bing, it's bigger than Yahoo and all the rest of them. And then they also say that more than 60% of Americans are actually on YouTube every single day. So people are looking for things, and sometimes they don't want to just read something. They'd rather watch the answer. How do I become a better basketball player? And so then they'll look at a video as opposed to going to read it. And so how do you differentiate, or how do people differentiate quality content versus junk that's just out there?
Well, here's the big thing here. Like you said, people go to YouTube because they can find the information that they want. And YouTube is really trying to push the right information to the right person at the right time. And that's their whole goal. They don't care if your channel has 100 subscribers or if your channel has 100,000 subscribers. They're trying to get the right information to the right person at the right time. So quality information is when you provide the information directly that people are searching for. And if I had to tell somebody how to start a YouTube channel now, that's one of the first things that I would tell them to do. Start out with serving the people. Find out what niche you're going to play in, right? Mm-hmm. What niche you're going to specialize in, and then start serving those people. And you want to start serving the people who are looking for specific information, right? And so when you start looking for those, provide specific answers. I'm going to give y'all this is something I teach in my course. It's called a PSA, provide specific answers. And when you provide specific answers, there are going to be people out there looking for that information. And once they find your channel, the likelihood that they'll subscribe and continue to watch your channel is very high.
So that takes me to my next question, Anthony. If I'm going to start a YouTube channel, how long does it typically take to monetize, or to get to a point where I feel like I'm monetizing? So let me give you an example. So for me, I have a basketball channel as well. And my goal is to help, because I teach basketball. So I want the students to learn from me, to kind of say, look, I can't be with you 24 hours a day, but I can give you education through YouTube that we can't get on the court in terms of practice time. I can get you set up, And then I can help you over and over and over again. If it's a skill that you might have missed from practice, I can post it on YouTube, and then you can go back and look at it again. So that's just to give you an example. For this channel here, it's to provide education. So people get to know me, they get to know Coach Vaughn, they get to know Coach India, they get to know Chris, they get to know James, they get to know everybody that's out here, and they're getting to know you. So that's part of it as well. So just give me some feedback on that.
Absolutely. And it's great that you know the agenda of your channel and what you're trying to do, who you're trying to serve, and how you want to serve them, because that's very, very important as you build your YouTube channel. Now, what I want to tell you is that a lot of people think that you have to wait for YouTube to actually pay you for you to get paid. And I want to tell you that's wrong, right? That's dead wrong. You don't have to wait for YouTube to pay you for you to get paid. In fact, you can start monetizing your YouTube channel whenever you want to. And the way you do that, right, is that you want to start building a brand, right, from the very beginning, and you want to start treating it like a business, right? So you want to think about it as, I am a business brand now that I am on YouTube, and every business going to have something that some way that they serve their customers in turn for a profit, right? And so what you want to have is products. You want to productize your business. Okay. And a lot of people miss that point because they think it's too hard to create products. They think that they shouldn't have products. It's not time or anything like that. But what you got to think about is, how can you serve your viewers and your potential customers on a deeper level? Some things you can't cover on, in a quick video on YouTube, but you can take it further with the products and services and things that you have to offer. Now, I don't want to go too deep, but I want to make sure everybody gets the information. Here's a ninja trick for you right here. So what you can do if you don't have a product yet, what I always tell people is and I tell my students all the time, is to take advantage of partnerships, right? We live in a partnership culture, and this thing is going to change. The partnerships is going to be very vital in 2024. And that's what you're doing with Core 4, partnering with a lot of different people. So what you could do is partner with someone else, and you can leverage what I call OPP. And we're not talking about naughty by nature, right? So not naughty by nature, but we leverage other people's products, right? So somebody else could have a product that you can actually share that goes along with your specific niche. And you can say, well, look, I did a video on gardening. Here are here's something about gardening, but then I have an affiliate link from a company who actually sells gardening materials, right? Gardening utensils, all this type of stuff. And you get paid when somebody buys their materials. And you can do that simply with the largest retailer in the world, Amazon. They allow you to do that as well. So that's another way that you can monetize before you have your own products.
So let's talk about setting up a business. So I kind of feel like you need to have your own business. You need to get an LLC. You need to start doing a bunch of different detailed things. Is that something that you offer to your clients? Is it the whole package, how you get started, set up your LLC, you help them with their brand, you help them to set up relationships with the different partnerships? Is that what you do?
Absolutely. We provide all the guidance that you're going to need when you're establishing your brand on YouTube, from beginning to the end. We go through all of those things. Now, we have a strategic way we do it because of the fact that a lot of people, and I love courses, but what I realized with something that's a long-term journey like YouTube, a course isn't always the direct answer, because you're going to need ongoing help, assistance, all of this type of stuff. So what I've come up with is a membership and a community where we can help each other, and you're going to have ongoing direct help and assistance, where we have what I offer in that community is we have weekly coaching sessions with all of the students. And then also twice a month, we do channel audits. So those audits actually, we go in, we look at your channel, we tell you some things that you could tweak and adjust to be more successful, all of that type of stuff. Also, you get access to all of my monthly challenges that I do, which I have challenges, which I teach people YouTube over a course of 5 days. It's 2 hours a day for 5 days. The one that's coming up is only 3 days. So if somebody wants the short one, feel free to join the short YouTube channel. Because it's February, it's a shorter month. I do it in 3 days. So if you want to do that challenge, you can do that. But we teach you everything. We give you the whole thing of what you need to know. You get access to everything that you're going to need.
So let's talk a little bit about, like, sometimes people are insecure about being in front of a group of people. Do you have stage fright being in front of the camera like this? I mean, the whole world and COVID has kind of made it so that, you know, you might look in the mirror, but now you really see the reflection of yourself, and you really see that whatever you put out there, the way that you're writing up, and you know, you may not like that. So how do you overcome the stage fright of being on camera?
Well, one of the things I always tell people is action cures fear, right? If you want to, if it is something that you want to do, that you want to be in front of the camera, you want to build this brand in this way, then action cures fear. Sometimes you have to just press record and punch fear in the face, right? And that's what you have to do, is you just like, hey, look, press record, put it out there, and go and watch. I watch a lot of YouTube, and you will realize every master was once a disaster. Don't worry about it. Your first videos will be your worst videos, right? I tell people that all the time. I show my students my first video, which you can barely tell it was me because the lighting and the camera was so bad, right? So I show people that, but I said, well, look, it didn't stop me. I kept pressing record over and over and over and over again. Now, for those of you all who just say, man, look, I just don't want to be on camera, there's options for you as well. If you don't want to be on camera, majority of my videos on YouTube are not me showing my face. They're screen tutorials. I teach people what to do. I go over, I give reports, I do all of these things without even showing my face. So that is a way you could do that. Now there's even a great thing with AI and technology that you can have a faceless channel where you don't even have to be the person or the voice, right? So you can actually go in. Now that's going to take some technology. You're going to have to be pretty savvy with technology, or be able to open your wallet and pay somebody that's savvy with technology to make that happen. But it is very much possible with AI that you can do that. I just showed my students this week. I created a video in like 10 minutes and had a whole video that was not my voice, that had the whole imagery and everything on a specific topic that we had chose, and I didn't do anything. It was all AI driven, right? And you probably watched some of those videos and just didn't know it. There's whole channels that's dedicated to that. So if you want to do it that route, you can as well.
So it seems like this is a big industry. And, you know, one of the things that, just like you talked about just now, in terms of like AI and learning these technical things that you would have to do, how much time is somebody really putting towards, like, because most people are going to say, man, I got my 9 to 5. I mean, I got 4 kids, you know, I don't have time to be doing a YouTube channel and all the rest of this other stuff. So what is the prep time that you would say before you go live, and just in general, just to sustain it before it actually could become a replacement for the money that you are making on your 9 to 5? What are your thoughts on time?
Well, it's really going to depend on the effort that you're willing to put in. I always say this: you got to create some momentum, right? And what I say is momentum is going to be your consistency and your level of intensity, right? Multiplied by your belief that you can actually do this. That's kind of my formula for it, right? So you actually go in, if you have, you figure out, you have to be consistent. You're going to have to come in and say, hey, look, I'm going to give this 18 months and I want to be consistent. You determine your upload schedule. When I first got started, it was so much going on in the space that I was involved in that I was like doing a video, sometimes almost every single day. I was doing a video, I was dropping a video, and it was specific information that people were actively searching for, right? So that was one of the biggest things that helped me grow, because people were out there looking for that every day. And I was there, the one that was mainly out there providing the information. I started to grow really, really fast, right? And those are the things that you have to keep in mind. Like, how intense are you going to be? Are you going to be Vaughn level intense about this, right? And I use Vaughn as an example because he's super intense. But if you even look, he's growing very well on YouTube. He's providing a lot of information.
Really is.
He's doing a lot of things. So are you going to be that level of intense? And here's one of the things I tell people: don't look at where a person is now, right? Because a lot of times you may look at what I do now, but that's not what I did to get where I am now, right? And so if you say, well, Anthony, like, well, I still do a lot of videos, but like if you say, well, Anthony, let's say if I was doing one video a week or a video every other week, well, you can't say that was the thing for me back then when I was building my influence, because I was there serving on another level then. And so that's what you want to look at and say, hey, look, am I going to take it to build it up here? Now, if you have everything structured well, I've seen people, even myself, I actually, it was less than a year. No, it was about a year that I was able to replace my full-time income from everything else that I was doing. Right. So everything, it was like, because all the stuff that I was doing, I had well over. As a matter of fact, I should have left long before I did.
That's
The only reason, yeah, the only reason why I didn't, because it was some things of some limiting beliefs and things like that, and some perception from the outside. I come from the banking world. I had a very, very good job, had a 6-figure job in banking, and it was a very cush job. And so it was like, hey, everybody was looking up to me in the community and was like, hey, you have this great job. Are you going to step away from that to do this? Right. And so I had to change it. But once I stepped out, it was one of the best decisions that I made. But be ready for real entrepreneurship. I always tell my people that you are brand builders, you are entrepreneurs now. And one thing we know about champions is that they don't shy away from fights. They know that there's going to be battles, but they're going they're going all the way in to win these battles.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you got to have a little competitive spirit and a little competitive drive, and you kind of touched on like replacing your income. And I feel like a lot of people are insecure about diving into something that's new. And what I like about YouTube is that you can grow at your own pace. So you have, you've done extremely well. You have over 15,000, 20,000 followers, or subscribers. And one of the big things that I said is that I want to make sure that my subscribers are engaged, that they're sincere, that they're really wanting the content that I'm delivering, so that if I only have 10,000 subscribers, there's going to be 10,000 people that want to know what Core 4 is saying. And if we get 100,000, it'll be the same way. And so I've noticed that you've been that way. How did you shape your engagement to make sure that your subscribers were really getting what you were delivering? What was that process like for you?
Well, I think the thing is transparency is one thing. Honesty is another thing, and building that know, like, and trust factor. I tell people that KLT is make sure that your subscribers feel like they know you. They have to feel like they like you, and they got to feel like they trust you. Right. And so those are things that you want to build while you're becoming a key person of influence in your space. And you got to know those things that build that level of, like consistency builds trust. Right. If you know that I'm going to show up, say, hey, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know Anthony's going to show up good, bad, or whatever, indifferent. One of my mottos is love above all. Right. And always service first. I feel like if you come in and you say, well, look, the first thing is before I make $1, before it's about getting a new subscriber, before it's about anything like that, is to make sure that I am going to always be passionate about serving my community to the best of my ability. That gets me up in the morning. That makes me publish that next video. That makes me get up and give them that information. A lot of times I'm giving information because I'm like, oh, man, I found this out. They need to know this. I'm pushing record because they need this information. I'm so passionate about that. That's what keeps me going. And that's what has built, I believe, my engaged community.
No, that's wonderful. One of the things people are looking at, like, all right, well, I see that everybody's on YouTube now, all the rest of the stuff. I'm 70 years old. I'm 60 years old. I'm 50 years old. I'm not young anymore. Is that a thing? Like, or is there room for somebody that's got a full head of gray hair to jump into this space and actually be successful, like starting next week?
I think it's the best thing. As a matter of fact, it's a unique advantage, right? What a lot of times what people think is a disadvantage is actually an advantage to them, because there are people out there that are on YouTube that are their age and they're looking for specific information. And one of the ways that you can niche down, I just taught a young lady this in my last challenge, was I said, look, you niche down. She was doing health and wellness and fitness. And I said, well, look, how about you specifically target health and wellness and fitness for women above 40? Because that's what she was. I was like, now you're not, if you get in there, you just talk about health and wellness, you're not going to get any traction. There's too many people. There's Sean T. There's all these other people, right? That's teaching the same thing. But when you narrow it down and you niche it down to health and fitness for women above 40, that is going to be a niche that you can play in, and people are out there looking for that. Or that 50-year-old that's in technology. Like if you talk about AI and how seniors can use AI, that's a specific enough niche that you're going to have people out there looking for that, and you can dominate that niche. You may not dominate AI in general, but you could dominate the niche that you have. So take your niche and add your age to it. That's a key. Yeah. That's a tip. Take your niche, add your age to it, and then make a channel about that. And I want to tell you, I almost promise you that that's going to get some more traction than you just being really generic or general about what you're doing.
You know, it's funny you say that. So I'm going to jump on the basketball side for a second. And, you know, I do a skill development. I'm one of the top trainers in the country. I have a unbelievable curriculum. And one of the things that I always say is, am I still relevant? Because I played at a very high level. And so I've taught at the highest levels, but am I still relevant? And so what you said was key, and you're going to make me do a basketball video very, very soon, within the next 24 hours. Thank you.
I'm going to be looking forward to it. That's going to be amazing. And that's what we want to see. That's what people out there, they really want to see. And that's going to get more traction and activity than anything else. And I think everybody can say it's been the things that are non-traditional that's gotten the most attention.
You know, you're right. And so even understanding, and I hope the community can understand what I'm about to say. So you might not think that your niche is that valuable, but there are so many people in this world that even if you just have 50,000 of the world that's looking at you for your one particular niche, you may like to put peanut M&Ms inside of a marshmallow and then stick a toothpick in between there or whatever. And there are going to be 50,000 people in the world that are going to find that to be fascinating. They're going to be interested in it. They're going to have nostalgia. They're going to have whatever, and they're going to follow that. And so you can't think that even though you might start this and you might do a video and it might not go viral for 6 months, it might not go viral for a year, but the fact that it's on there and it may be still relevant. Yeah, I mean, you may not want to pick something that's going to expire in terms of its relevancy, but if it's something that is actually relevant, you can do so much with it. So let me just ask you this. So tell us a little bit about your course. Tell us a little bit about how that works, and then we'll make sure that in the description that they have a way to contact you. So go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple things that I offer here, and there's varying levels of participation. So the first thing is the challenge. So once again, I have a challenge coming up on February the 19th. It's going to be February 19th through the 21st. This is their general admission is totally free. You can actually get into that. All you have to do is go to YouTubegrowthchallenge.com/offer. You go to YouTube, and I'll put it in the comments as well. So if you go to that you can enroll for free, right? And you can get in there, and I'm going to go over. I give everything. You can ask anybody that's been in one of my challenges. They always say the one day will give them it was worth them enrolling, right? The next thing is, if you don't do the challenge, if you say, Anthony, I don't want to just wait for the challenge, you can actually go in and start with Brand Builders Unlimited. This is my membership and community that I've built. And so this Brand Builders Unlimited is going to give you that consistent assistance that you need over the course, because you could give all the information during the challenge, but you know you're going to need help implementing all that information over the long run. And that's what this opportunity gives for you. And so that is normally $79 per month, which everybody tells me it's a steal. You get $79 per month. We get all this information. You get access to all my challenges in a VIP capacity, all of this stuff, right? So that is $79 a month. Or you can pay $497 for the year if you want to do that. But I did something special for Core 4, right?
What'd you do?
For Core 4, right now, if anybody want to check it out, if you want to come in and check out Brand Builders Unlimited, well, we help you build your brand. And we have a coaching call that's coming up on Wednesday. We do a coaching call every Wednesday. You're going to be able to enroll. Instead of it being $79 for your first month, we're going to take $72 off for you, because you guys know my favorite number is 7, and you'll be able to enroll for $7 for the first month. The way you actually do that is just go to brandbuildersunlimited.com. When you go to that, you're going to see the option for $79. When you go to the checkout, in the coupon code, just put in Core 4, Core, lowercase, Core, and the number 4 in the coupon code. And just have it all together. And that's going to take $72 off the first month. You get the first month for $7. Our next coaching call is on Wednesday. And I look forward to seeing all of you on that if you decide to take me up on that offer.
You know what, Anthony? I just want to say thank you. Thank you. You didn't even tell me you were going to do that, but I really do appreciate it. We're going to also have you as one of our speakers in June to come out so people can actually interact with you live and kind of understand you. And how they can make money. And I want you to give real live examples. And I know you're going to do you. You're just going to do you. So thank you for the time that you spent here. I hope you're willing to come back on the show and share with us some more about how we can make money on YouTube and really get into some details. So
Absolutely. And thank you for having me on. Big shout out to the Core 4 family. You know, it's a part of my heart, dear to my heart. And I want to see everybody succeed. You know, like I said, love above all. I love each and every one of you. There's nothing you can do about it. Let's go out and win.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon. Thank you again. All right, guys. So here's the deal. We have an incredible opportunity for you guys to make money, to change the way that you have your mindset. Plug in with us. We have great tools to make money. A lot of people talk about it, but we're actually giving you ways. We're giving you the Forex opportunities. We're giving you the binary options opportunity. We're giving you the yield farming. So take advantage of the fact that you're keeping your money in your wallet. I want you guys to know we're running out of time. And so I'm going to have Coach Jeremiah on at another time, and we're going to really dive into the Core 4 quadrant, the Core 4 coefficient, and also the Core 4 true return. It is free. All you have to do is email us and use this. And I know that Anthony is using it. I know that Vaughn is going to be using it. I know that Terrence is going to be using it. Gerald's going to be using this. Lots of influencers out there that are looking to really give a baseline for how you actually leverage the income that you have into some of these particular projects that are out here, whether they're real world or they're not real world. Whatever you do, that's on you. But at least we give you guys some amazing tools to work with. So in closing, June 28th to June 30th, the Core 4 Summit. It's going to be here in Rockville, Maryland. The cost is $350 if you're a Core 4 member. That means that you would have paid the $50, which is what it costs right now, one time until we actually get Phase 2's website up. And then it's going to be $350. If you're not a Core 4 member, then it's $450 to come. There are only 100 spots. 100. And so people are already calling in. They're already registering. So make sure you get it. You're going to love the lineup. We're not giving the exact lineup for another month or so, but you're going to love the lineup that we're going to have. And it's going to give you an opportunity not only to meet up, but it's going to give you an opportunity to engage with people who are in real world making money the way that we all want to make money. And they're doing it the right way. They're keeping custody of their money. And they are subject matter experts. They're being the best version of themselves. And of course, You want to surround yourself with people that inspire you, and that's nothing but what Core 4 wants to be around. So that's what we have in store for you. So because of that, I just want to say to you guys, thank you so much for being on the show. I love you whether you like it or not, and go Core 4. Good night.